Ever heard of a man named Averroes? Probably not. And honestly, that's part of the tragedy. His real name was Benoroshd. I'm sure you recognize that one. He was born in Córdoba, 1126. And listen, Córdoba wasn't some random city in the corner of Spain. Back then it was the intellectual capital of the world. While the streets of Paris and London were piled with human waste, literally, people wore high platform shoes just to walk through the shit without soiling their robes. Cordoba had paved roads, street lamps, public baths, sewage systems. While European monks were debating how many angels could spin on a pin, Cordoba had 70 libraries, including one with 500,000 volumes. Medicine, astronomy, poetry, and whatnot. Jews, Christians, and Muslims were translating texts side by side, not burning each other's books. Building on them. This is the world Benoroshd was born into. A world where a mosque could echo with the call to prayer for the Fajr time, and a philosopher could be dissecting Aristotle by noon. He was a judge, physician, and he was a genius. But above all, he was a man who refused to shut his brain off just to fit in. He didn't just read Aristotle, he revived him, commented line by line like someone decoding the DNA of reason itself. And while the world around him whispered, "Don't ask," Averroes was asking, why not? He believed God and reason could walk together hand in hand, that God did not fear your questions, only tyrants did. And they did. And of course, they could not let that slide. And one day they came for him. They burned his books in a public square of Córdoba, flames licking the pages of his life's work. They say that he watched as it happened, as his own writings burned, and somebody asked him what he thought of it, and he said, calmly I imagine, the truth is more enduring than fire. And then he walked away. They exiled him to a little town called Lucena, a place once filled with Jewish scholars and books. He was stuck there, disgraced, surrounded by silence. And what did he do? He kept writing. Imagine. You've lost everything. You're erased from public life, but the ink keeps flowing. Because for him, truth was never about applause. Meanwhile, in Europe, they were eating his books up. Thomas Aquinas called him the commentator. Not a commentator, the commentator. Maimonides, I think it's called. Musa ibn Maimun, the great Jewish thinker, he said Averroes was one of the very few men who truly understood the relationship between reason and revelation. Even Dante in the Divine Comedy put him in the first circle of hell, not as punishment, but as respect. That was the space for the great pagan and Muslim philosophers, the ones too good to burn, even for a Christian poet. So yeah, he was silenced in his own world and celebrated in the one that came after him. Makes you think, how many Abna' Roshd are we burning today? Not with fire, but, ridicule, censorship, noise. How many minds are we locking up because they make us uncomfortable? He believed that truth doesn't beg for permission. It just waits, and when the fire dies down, it walks out of the ashes, still breathing, still burning. And maybe that was the real curse. They burned his books in Córdoba, and from that flame, Europe rose. And the world that lit the match, the people that lit the match, they're still searching for the light they destroyed.